News from News 8.
This was a tragic incident that was needless and did not have to happen.
The interim Rochester Police Chief expressing his sadness over a violent 24 hours in the city and makes a promise to the community. Good afternoon. 5 people were shot in Rochester, 2 fatally. Police just released the names of those who were killed. 24-year-old Marquand Williams and 26-year-old Justin Seiler, both of Rochester, were shot yesterday on Wilkins Street. No one has been arrested. Just a few miles away on Genesee Street, 2 men were shot last night as well. One remains hospitalized in guarded condition, and on Thomas Street, another person shot. In total, 5 people. The interim police chief just announced new measures to curb this violence. Selena Lewis is live at the Public Safety Building with more on the new changes. Selena?
Mark, well, the chief said that violence in the city has been at an all-time low recently, but that this will not be tolerated, this much violence in such a short period of time. He said 5 victims in 4 hours. Simmons says the response to this uptick will be immediate, with increased patrols saturating the affected areas, officers working overtime to make sure that these hotspots are adequately patrolled. Simmons says it's not just a short-term plan, though, but that command staff of the police department all discussed this morning how they could deal with gun violence both in the short and long terms.
I am in pain. I'm hurting from it. Last night was a very difficult night. As you're aware, we had 5 shooting victims in a matter of a 4-hour span. It's unacceptable, and it will not be tolerated in our city.
Now, these areas where the shooting happened were all part of targeted program areas that have been identified as problem areas, hotspots, and they receive grant money for this specific gun violence issue, although RPD chief said that they can't be everywhere all the time. Mark?
Selena, thank you for the live update on these proposed changes in Rochester. 2 men, meanwhile, arrested in connection with a deadly shooting in the city as well. 38-year-old Tremaine Coley of Rochester has been charged with murder and robbery. 38-year-old Delvern Duran of Rochester charged with robbery. The shooting happened during the early morning hours of September 14th. The victim was identified as Tasmir Kennard.